Yeah, thank you, the whole group of Joining Hands, for giving this opportunity, this platform to share, actually. Okay, so very brief introduction about me. I come from Ayurveda background, a graduate in Ayurveda and postgraduate in psychology. So when I was practicing medicine, I really felt that, medical fraternity objectifies the human, and I wasn't really happy. So I went on to learn different healing modalities. And one of them, like two of them, regression and constellation, I feel these are very powerful modalities, and they are complementary to each other. Constellation is very powerful. I have been practicing since almost 7 years now. I have found amazing, amazing transformations in people's lives. So there are some people who are really new. So I'll share a PPT. So constellation is all about belonging to a system. That's why it is called a systemic constellation. And one of the system is family. That's why we call the family constellation. Otherwise, it's a systemic constellation. We can address many, many systems. And what is a system? We all belong to a system. There is no identity to us than belonging to a system. So let us see what is a system. System is a congregation of interrelated parts. And these parts are regularly in touch. If you talk about the family, the interrelated parts are the family members, and they are continuously in touch with each other. They operate on the similar principles, consciously or subconsciously. That is called a conscience, or that is called the collective conscience. So we'll come to that later. Something like, if you see what is a system, if you see, take a single cell, it has a nucleus, it has a neutron, electron, proton. So it's a system. If you take any organ, or if you take physical a body, so all organs together, all physiological systems in a body, it's a system. So everything is a system. We ourselves, the whole complete being, is a system of, body, mind, emotion, soul. It's a system. And supra system, that is a system that we belong to, or something, or this country we belong, we call ourselves, that Indian. And India also has a conscience. Every country has a conscience. So we say Germany is a father country. India is a tolerant country. So there is a conscience to it. It's a system of all these people, and there are different like political system in it. Similarly, religion, caste, community, and family is one of the system where we belong. So this is about a system. And as I said, specifically, we talk about family system because this is very close to it. It is close to it because we are born in the system. So in this family system, it's a set of different relations, and they are called subsystems. And subsystems are not only people, but each relationship is also called a subsystem. So in this subsystem, there is always an interaction of give and take. So there needs to be also balance in the system. Every relationship and every person, like every system, influences the whole system. It is something like in a wall. If we remove one brick, the whole structure of the wall will change. So that's how every subsystem, every person, and every relationship, if something changes in it, it influences the whole dynamics of a system. And every family dynamics are unique. It has a different, it comes from different culture, different religion, different structure, different ways of communication. They come from different socio economic status and other influences. So every system has a different conscience because they are different. That's why you would have seen after marriage or in a relationship, adjusting to each other is very difficult. It is a process of understanding each other, so adjusting to each other, because both these people come from a different family conscience. There is a different set of, I would say, conscious and subconscious rules or beliefs and values, what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. So that is why this is very unique. Every system is unique, and it is difficult to adapt to the other person because we have tremendous love and loyalties towards the systems that we belong. So doing something which I feel is right, I feel is wrong, is very difficult. Doing something or accepting the other person who is doing something very, something is not in my value system. It is very difficult. That is how the systems influence us. And how are we connected to the system? Our identity comes from this system. We are born in this family system. And it's not only about parents, it's also about the many, many generations beyond. The name comes from this lineage. We are born to these parents. And then we are a part of these, both the family systems, father and mother both. And human being has an innate need to belong. For example, if in a group of boys, if they all are smoking, and one of the boy who is, at home, the father has been saying the smoking is bad, and this guy is also in the group. So he's also tempted to experience the smoking. Yet at the same time, his value system is completely in contrast. So he will be stressed. However, if he tries it, there will be a very subconscious guilt. That is how we need to, and there is also a strong need to belong to this group of boys. But there is also a strong need to belong to a system, a family. So there will be a conflict, there will be a stress. Also, human being has a primary need of being loved. And that comes from our father, mother, and other extended family, that is being fulfilled. Now, if it is not fulfilled, then the enmeshment or entanglements happen. So as a child, when the child is born, the child is actually very helpless. The child's survival depends on parents, mostly mother. The child really can't do anything on its own. So our survival comes from the system. Our identity, the name, who we are, it comes from parents. Our genes, our genetics, they come from parents. And out of all these aspects, we have a very strong love. Sometimes it goes into a very blind love, because as every younger generation tries to create the homeostasis or balance in this system, whatever has happened in previous generations, the younger generation, one of the person, not all, one of the person will take on that and try to put the system in balance, in homeostasis. That is how the system very strongly influences us, a very strong influence. Many a times we grow as an adult, but the software of childhood continue to influence us because of all these enmeshment or entanglement. Somewhere in system also, as the child grows, when the child is small, parents are in the center of the child's world. But as the child grows, parents slowly should start separating, going away. And the children also should start separating, going away, physically, mentally, emotionally. And when the child is an adult, then the separation is complete. Separation is a very painful process. And it is important that we are separated in a very healthy way. But many a times, because of whatever the dynamics in the people are, or in a dysfunctional family, this process is not very healthy. This process is not complete. So we stay stuck in whatever way, maybe with the anger, with feeling not loved, maybe with feeling not supported, not cared. So there are number of dynamics how we stay enmeshed to this family system, and also something called following or identified with, or trying to create a balance of some other generation's person, create this homeostasis. The younger generation, the younger person can stay enmeshed. So who we are, our self-identity, we carry number of different identities. And where does it come from? It comes from these systems. I said we belong to a system. Our identity comes from different systems. We belong to certain religion, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, belong to different countries, belong to different castes, belong to different communities and family, which is the most that we belong to. So all of our identities come from this. Also identity as a sibling, brother, sister. And since we belong to the system, I explain you all these aspects of our being are connected to the systems. We very unconsciously take the beliefs and values from our parents. Consciously, unconsciously, and verbal and non-verbal beliefs and values, they are not always spoken, but very unconsciously we take on. And when we take on this, we, in order to adapt to that family, we develop certain strategies or capabilities or competencies. I will explain you how we behave. And according to that, our behaviors are formed. And that is how our environment also reflects. For example, if father had been a very disciplinarian, or I would say short-tempered person, so in order to adapt in that family, staying with the very angry father, a short-tempered father, there can be a very helplessness, there can be the submissiveness, or there can be two strategies the child can develop. It can be either fight or flight. So when the child chooses to fight, the child can throw tantrums. The child can become a rebel and aggressive. The criminals are also in a way very active, aggressive, behavioral people. Or a person can go into a flight mode. So flight in the way the person will stay aloof, go into its shell, not very social, or want to go away, escape from it. So either fight or flight. And that is how the person will behave. And environment will respond accordingly. If the person is going into a shell, being all alone, want to stay aloof, want to go away, the people, the environment, the friends or family, they will say, okay, he wants or she wants to be alone. So let us not disturb. So people will stop inviting. And the more and more the person will go into the shell. This is how the vicious circle will be created. And this is how we stay enmeshed. A very little briefly about morphic fields. As I said, every system carries complete energy within it. It is called the morphic field. You would have seen in the sky, all the birds, they fly together. There is no communication, yet they are in harmony. And many things you see in the nature, there is no communication, but they are in harmony. And this is this energy of a morphic field. So all social animals, including humans, are connected by fields of information that are shared by all members. And this is the morphic field. This is the energy, the whole energy. That is what the constellation is. Sheldrick is the one whose actually a concept is this morphic resonance. So this field, it reverberates and it exchange information within a universal life force. This is called the field of wisdom, the all-knowing field, the matrix, or collective unconscious, as per the Carl Jung, world soul. So if people who have seen group constellations, the energy that is at play where this morphic field or this matrix or this all-knowing field is carrying all the data of every person, energetic data of every person. That's when in a group constellation, when a person represents the other person, this other person will uh, think the thoughts, the emotions relating to the other members will be exactly of that person, because then he's getting into this morphic field, this matrix. And that is how the invisible bonds, like something happened 3, 4, 5 generations also. The matrix is carrying all the data, and that data is revealed through the representatives in an energetic way. Then as a facilitator, the facilitator can understand it with the forms of thoughts or emotions and even the physical sensations. Body always lives in this moment. So body tells the truth. Conscience, every system has a conscience. Just as every country has a conscience, religion has a conscience, planets has a conscience. As I said, even I would say communities also, we say, okay, this Guju community is business oriented, or Maratha community is warriors. So this is a conscience. There can be a number of different principles, but altogether, this is collective conscience of that system. And talking about the family, every conscience is different. I explained it why. And we carry unconscious loyalties and love because we belong to that system, or the need to belong, the need to be loved, the sense of belonging. Our identity comes from that system. It is very fearful to exit the system. We can be no one. So the need to belong in a human being is very vital. There are 3 conscience. I will not go into details. I'll explain in a very brief way. Those who have heard the earlier 4 lectures, Ujjwal has explained about conscience. There are few new people, so I'm explaining. Personal conscience is very narrow and limited. I like this, I don't like this. Even the values, the beliefs. And there is a lot of good and bad. So this is good, that is bad. And then we are not able to accept the other person, other people as he or she is. The collective conscience is wider in its scope. And that includes this, I would say, if it's a country's collective conscience, then we talk to other people as we Indians. So it's a collective conscience, like patriotism. It's a collective conscience of this larger system of a country. And then we represent the interest of those in a family conscience who are excluded by the personal conscience. So it's often in conflict with the personal conscience, and it has its limitations as it encompasses only members of the groups that are governed by it, like community. The community have different groups, and one community may not accept the other community. So they also belong to their own community conscience and may not accept the conscience of the other groups. So it's a bigger conscience. And the spiritual conscience is all about oneness. And that's the principle of constellation. It's all about inclusion, including everyone, irrespective of what he or she is, from any community, any country, any religion, whoever, whatever the source of that person is, but everyone belongs here. It's the field of oneness. That is the spiritual conscience. So those who are new, the constellations can be done in two ways. There's a group constellation where people, a group of people, maybe 10, 15 people sit together, and the facilitator takes the intake, whatever the issue is. Facilitator tells the client to choose representatives for him or whatever the issue is, maybe family members, and tells that client to place those representatives in this matrix, the all-knowing field well that we talked about. And then the energy of matrix reveals what is the entanglement, and then it is cleared with the help of some techniques like using healing sentences, stating the reality. That's about group constellation. And in one-to-one, it is also done with the puppets or with the papers. That is one-to-one, like facilitator and the client. Okay, so those people who have joined later, please get few 3-4 pens, 3-4 spoons of forks. Let's do a process. Let's get a hang of what constellation is. And sit on the in front of the table. Put all this on the table. I'll just stop sharing this for some time. Where is the stop sharing? Neha, I want to stop sharing, not getting the option.
On the Zoom, where the green button of share is, you'll get a red.
Yeah. Stop share. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay. Yeah, okay. So all of you just sit in front of the table and keep all those pens and spoons and forks that you have got. Everyone has got it? Just you can just say thumbs up, those who have got it. Okay. So you are actually doing a process of constellation. So just settle down in front of the table. Keep all those pens and spoons, forks. Just acknowledge the front and the back, front of the spoon, back of the spoon, front of the pen, back of this pen. If there is a fork, front of the fork and back of the fork, and place them on the table. Okay. And just for a moment, just close your eyes. Feel your feet on the ground. Connect to your body. Any sensations in any part of the body, just observe, just be with it. Focus your awareness on the breath. Inhalation and exhalation. And as you focus on exhalation, just empty yourself, letting go of all the thoughts, anything. Just make your mind empty. And as you focus on inhalation, just be increasingly present in this moment, in the space that you are sitting. And now you can open the eyes and look at those 6, 7 items that you have kept. And think of your family. Either you take your family of origin, that means your parents, your siblings, or you take your present family, that is your husband or wife and children. So choose one family. And whatever number of members are there in your family, just pick up those many atoms and leave other atoms aside. Now keep those items on the table and identify each person with each item. Are you getting it? Like one pain, one particular pain for one, maybe my father, the other pain for my mother, the spoon for my sibling, brother, sister, that way. So identify all those. Okay. And intuitively, just stay. It's a meditative process. Arrange them. Arrange them intuitively as per the dynamics. Just stay with it. Arrange them. You know what is the front and what is the back. Where is the face? Front is the face of that person. And just arrange it on the table. Whatever members are 3, 4, 5. If you want to include any other member, intuitively, you can do that. And now, if you have arranged, just stay with it, just observe it. Who is looking at whom? Where is each person looking? How is one person or relating to the other person? What are the emotions there? How is the behavior? Look at that constellation that you have created. Look at that matrix that you have created. Also stay with your own thoughts, your own feelings. If your body is responding with any specific sensations, just be with it. Just acknowledge your thoughts. Don't push them away. Just acknowledge. You don't have to do anything. Just acknowledge them. The emotions. If there is any sensation in the body, just acknowledge. Just stay with this constellation. Which person is looking at which person, or showing the back? Where are they looking? How are they relating to each other? Just stay with it. You will get a deeper understanding of what's happening there. Don't go into any logical thoughts. Just stay with this energy. It's an energy. Any revelations, any observations, just be with it. Just acknowledge. You also place yourself. I hope you all have placed yourself too. Place yourself. See where are you in these dynamics. How do you relate to each person? Where are they looking? How do you feel? Are there any thoughts? How is your body responding? Because body tells the truth. Mind can wander. Mind can give justifications. Mind can sometimes do not see the truth, but body tells you the truth. Just be with it. Any revelations, any observations? How are you feeling? What are the thoughts? How is the bonding? Is there a love? Is there any other emotion? It's a meditation. Just be with, connected to this energy of matrix, of the all-knowing field. And take one deep breath, and you can step back. And let us have a couple of sharings before I go ahead. Any revelations, anything, any experiences anyone wants to share? You can unmute and you can share. Or you can raise your hand. Neha can unmute. No one wants to share? Yeah, Najma. Okay. Neha, can you unmute Najma? Yeah.
Yeah, I have unmuted myself.
Okay.
So, Sharimula, it was interesting. When I started it off, initially I chose my parental family, but then I took a second or so and I changed my mind, and then I took my marital family. So I shifted from that to this, and I said, this is now my present, and maybe I want to look at this one.
Okay.
And what I realized was that while I was looking at it, there was a narration in my mind going on, and I was changing the pens. I had chosen 3 different kinds of pens, and I was kind of moving it around and, shifting it from here to there to here, as my mind was, telling me about the relationships within the present family and how things are. And then you said, who's looking at home? And although it's just a normal, simple pen, you get a kind of a feel of, the way you were directing, that kind of brought the focus, and it made quite a few revelations. So it was interesting to do that. It was an interesting exercise. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Najma. The awareness also shifts the thing. Energy is very powerful. Yeah, I can see two hands, Bharti and Rita. You can, Bharti, you can unmute
Yeah.
yourself and share. Yeah.
Sorry.
I could actually see the person in front of me. I could actually see the face of that person.
You are a little low. Can you speak louder or?
Actually, I'm in my office right now.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Okay, tell me.
What I felt was I could see the person whom I was imagining. I could see the face of that person, and I could also feel how much is the intensity, how much is the strength of a relationship. Like I could feel very positive. I
Okay.
could feel that the person was right in front of me.
So could you feel the change in earlier perception and now?
Yes. I felt that whatever I was feeling for the person, that is getting into that person. That is
That
going
is getting
it's connecting.
connect. Okay. Only this awareness changes perceptions, and not only perceptions, but your emotions, your behaviors, your thoughts, responses will also change. The energy is powerful. Thank you for sharing, Bharti. Yeah, Rita want to share.
Yeah. The time you told me you have to be there in the matrix, and I felt
You
so
had not placed
protected.
yourself in the matrix.
No.
Mm.
After you told, I did. And,
Okay,
I
so
felt so protected.
so where were you out of the matrix? Where were you? How did you
I
generally
was just
connect
looking
to
at
yourself?
everyone. I was
Ha-
looking to all the other, like my father, mom, sister, my son, my husband.
in life, Rita, in life, have you been that type of personality who puts everybody else first, but you last?
Always.
That's the reason you didn't put yourself in the matrix. Everybody else comes
Always.
before me. Where are you? Where is your identity? Where is your existence? Okay.
So when I placed myself, I felt so happy. And I felt so protected.
Yeah.
I'm still happy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some dynamics, what earlier were something called the enmeshment, it changed now with this energy of matrix. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Rita. Okay, let's go ahead. Anyone else? Anyone wants to share?
Yeah, Sharmila.
How is Jagbir?
Yeah. So I placed my family of origin, my parents, my brother and self, and my parents were both looking in the same direction, and both my brother and I were looking towards my father and not looking at our mother. And our father is not looking at us; he's looking straight ahead. Now this.
Some enmeshment over here.
First time this kind of a thing has cropped up. That's why I wanted to share.
Some enmeshment with father that needs to be addressed further.
Yep.
Okay. So thank you for being part of this process. This is a powerful process. Let me see what is it.
Can I speak? Can I speak?
Yeah. Who, Bharti? Who wants to speak?
Raj Rawat. Yeah. Ma'am, as you said, arrange your pants, take some pants. I take, we are 8 members in our family. So I took 8 and we all are looking towards the same direction. And there was one, it was one abortion of my, sorry, there was one abortion of my sister-in-law. And I took that child also. I took that child also. So I took 8 pens I took and 1 pencil I took, and then I kept that child as a pencil.
And everyone was looking at pencil.
No, we all are looking at some same direction. There is a close knit, it is a very close knit family. We are all bonded, stick together each other. Even the pencil is there with us. Everything is. Only a thought came at that time that the pen, you cannot rub the identity of the written things. I mean, the things written by a pen, but you can rub the pencil. So the child is not present right now. And so I thought that it's a, by mistake or by choice, I took it as a pencil. Afterwards, I realized that yes, the existence of the child couldn't be taken. Means whatever the child writes can be rubbed because he is not there. The child is not there, kind of. And but still, the child is there. I feel its existence, though he is not my child, but I feel the child exists. And so, and
So
there's a very good bond between each of us, and we all are looking at one direction. That I do not understand. We all are
yeah. So you are looking at something. There is something over there. If you place later on, you do that after this is over. You place something and you get a revelation of what is that you all are looking at. There's something coming from ancestors, something coming from lineage, something you all are looking at. Some enmeshment over there is there.
Okay.
And also all abortions, all miscarriages, all those have to be given its rightful place.
Yeah.
If there are 2 children and 1 abortion, so in a language of constellations, I have 3 children. That soul also belongs.
Yes.
So that due rightful place needs to be given.
Yes.
Sometimes what happens, it is not really considered and we forget about it. It is not spoken.
Yeah.
So the any one sibling, mostly the sibling, either earlier born or the later born, they get enmeshed with that sibling.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing, Raj.
I am the third elder in the family. I kept myself on the 5th place. I don't know why.
Now stay with this later on. That means there is a disorder in our order. So you will know, you will get a revelation, you will connect to what is the disorder in the order. When there is in a sibling line, also there is a disorder in order, you will see there will be a conflict in siblings. Some very subtle.
Yes, yes.
So somewhere you put yourself, instead of 3, you put at 5.
Yeah.
Right? So somewhere you're not taking your rightful place. You are being lesser.
Yes. That's true, ma'am.
That's true, na? Yeah. So yeah, it's very subtle, but you will get a feel of yeah. So someone is asking
level, yeah.
Someone is asking, what do you mean by getting enmeshed with a sibling? What happens is when there is an abortion or a miscarriage, the child is not born. There is no life. So the sibling born later will feel guilty, or even sibling born before that aborted child will feel guilty, a subconscious guilt for having a life. So there will be a very subtle death urge too. Or maybe that sibling, either younger or elder, will try to accommodate, create space for that child. I had a case where it's a vanishing twin. Actually, there were two fetus, and in very early stage, the other what do you call the fetus? It dissolved, and this girl, she's in 10th class. She came for a constellation. She came for a therapy. She is completely depressed. So depression is a death urge. You are not really living, being alive, not living fully. And the constellation revealed that vanishing twin. There can be a number of different aspects now that we don't have. It's a very deep topic. We don't have that much time, but I think who asked the questions? Have I answered your question? So it's best to not to have child. Why? It's everybody's choice. Some people want to have children, some people don't want to have children. That's their completely personal choice. So how to settle the hierarchy, you need to go in for a constellation. There will be a constellation of siblings. because even the siblings is a system of siblings. Siblings can be a very good, strong support system to each other. So if there are issues in siblings, one needs to go for a constellation. It will settle down. A person who realized it can go for a constellation. There is no need that other siblings also come there. Because of the death influence. Now I couldn't. I will answer this. I didn't understand this question. So maybe we'll go forward. We'll take the questions later. So orders of love, I will not explain because I think earlier for lectures, it is already explained. Orders of love is, see, as a flow of energy comes from higher level to lower level. The water flows from higher level to lower level. So the flow of love, flow of energy also come from parents to children and generations beyond, from them to our parents to us. So parents give and children receive. Parents give life and child receives, children receive. There is also hierarchy. Parents come first, children are born later. And out of some dysfunctionality in the family, these orders of love is not really, it is in disorder. That's why the system can show number of symptoms. We'll talk about the symptoms later. So it's a big topic of orders of love. Yeah. So what are the traumas that the system has undergone will affect the younger generations or any of the family member? Unnatural deaths, the deaths can be due to accidents, sudden accidents where young people are dying or children are dying, suicides, murders, murder like either family member killing someone from outside or someone else killing the family member in any generation. So in a systemic energy, that person also actually belongs to the system and that needs to be addressed. Unresolved, even if it's many, many generations back, the matrix has this data. The energy is storing this data. And when the constellation is set up, it is revealed. Unresolved emotions of ancestors. For example, anger that's carried to the death. The anger, the person died angry about something, about someone, about something happened. That is an unresolved systemic issue, emotional issue, and any of the younger generation, any person can carry the anger. Many times children model parents. Even though they don't want to be like parents, they end up becoming one. I have had many clients who say, I didn't want to be like my father, but I ended up becoming one. Just 2 days back, one medical student, he's doing MD, he came, he's extremely angry with the parents, mostly with mother. He perceives mother as very indifferent. I didn't feel cared, I didn't feel loved, and I'm very angry and I justify my anger. So strongly, logically also he justified his anger. I don't want to let go of that anger, and its anger is of many years. And he doesn't want anyone, any of the parents or siblings to call him. He says, I want to live my life. I don't want to be connected to them at all. So it was a first counseling session. So when I directed him towards being not connected to parents, also being indifferent. So even though he said, I don't want to be like my father or mother, I said, even though you don't want to be like them, you have ended up becoming like one, indifferent. He couldn't take it. So there is a very deep enmeshment with parents and the child. Yeah, so anger, revenge unfulfilled, injustice. If any of the ancestor has not got justice, the younger one of the person will try to balance it, try to create the homeostasis. I had a client who says, she is extremely angry for small little things. Very irrational anger. If like this has to be done, if she feels this is actually injustice, isko justice nahi mila, so she's so angry, and the event can be anywhere in the world, but she's extremely angry. So she is trying to give justice to someone coming from the lineage, some ancestor. Guilt or crime without assuming like they didn't carry the guilt. Even if the crime had been done, people refuse to feel the guilt. And that guilt is taken over by one of the younger generation person. Unfinished agendas, something is not completed, some desires, even too much attachments. If the person dies very young, in young age, children are small, there is an attachment towards them. And that will also affect the younger generations. Unresolved issues, property issues, or financial issues, if they are not resolved, they can create a lot of disharmony, a lot of dysfunctionality in the families. Existing the system, like disowning, the father says, I disown you. Or if a girl marries out of the caste, they actually disown. But the younger generation will have to take the brunt of it, because the system will try to include her or him. That is the order of love. Everyone has a right to belong to the system. No one can be excluded irrespective of whatever that person has done. Everyone has a right to belong to that system and right to his or her own fate. So if the person has been boycotted or disowned, or the person just leaves it, the person actually chooses to escape because it is very overwhelming sometimes to face. But the younger generation, actually this person is also enmeshed because he cannot leave the system. The root lies in the system. But the person, any other person from the system, will also try to give that person a space, its rightful place. Maybe the one of the younger generation person may leave the system, may exit on its own, or may carry the anger. So in whatever different symptoms it will show. Abortions and miscarriages, they also have an influence on the parents and also siblings. Mother can carry unconscious guilt. Even if it's a decision, very conscious decision, there will be a subconscious guilt. So in a way, the younger generations carry a field of archaic compensation. They try to compensate, they try to balance, they try to create the homeostasis. That is how the systemic traumas affect the younger generations, even if we are not aware what happens. The secrets that are kept in the system, there are certain things people don't talk. The families don't talk. It is kept as secret. But the secrets are not secret. They will influence the younger generation. So in a constellation, these secrets are revealed. Of course, we respect why the secrets are kept secrets, but that secrets need to be addressed and let go of it. So if there are systemic traumas, how generally, what are the symptoms that are seen in the families? The hereditary diseases, कितनी बार सुना है आप लोगों ने कि people saying, my father had diabetes, my grandfather had diabetes, so I also have diabetes. My someone died, family died of heart attack, this, that. So I'm very careful about my diets. I do a regular checkup. How often you have said, where you have observed people saying that? So hereditary diseases, specific behavioral or emotional patterns, as I gave an example of an anger. Behavioral patterns, because there are certain beliefs underneath, and younger generations also carry the same beliefs. So you will see the same behavior. Father is behaving in a certain way, son or daughter also has those personality traits, behavioral patterns. Financial issues. What happens is we carry beliefs out of our subconscious loyalties. For example, if a father has been saying all the time, it is my hard-earned money. It's not easy to earn money. So there's a belief that money is always earned in a hard way. So even the child all throughout the life, working very hard to earn money. Why? Because subconsciously is carrying that belief that money is earned in a hard way. Money can be also earned in an enjoyable way. I enjoy my profession. I'm very passionate about it. And I don't feel it's a hard work. I enjoy it. So that is how we carry a very subconscious loyalties, and then we carry these beliefs. So if a constellation of a money is set up, maybe a father will show up because the money is connected to that belief. And that is how you're blocking. You're just logging to earn money. That's an enmeshment. Also, financial issues can be a loyalty to any of the ancestor or even parents, that if you didn't live a happy life, you had a very difficult life, I'm also loyal to you. So the younger one of the person may not attract abundance. The person will live in poverty. That is the subconscious loyalties towards the system, towards the parents or the ancestors. One can see relationship conflicts mostly because of the disorder in order in siblings, in parents and children. Parents go into the parentification mode. When they see parents are helpless, not able to do, they perceive, these are children's perceptions. They can go into a parenting mode, nurturing the parents as parents. Girl tries to mother the father, girl tries to mother the mother. The mothering, or also spousification, like if the father is absent, the first boy, those are the mama's boys, mama's boys. The child steps up, taking the responsibilities, even mental, emotional, and physical responsibilities of father. So going into a spousification mode, taking those responsibilities. So child's identity is lost. Child's existence of who he is, the individualized self, is lost in this process. And that is how relationship conflicts happen. Many times you would have observed the children talk very arrogantly to the parents. So one of the reason can be parentification. Children try to become parent to parents. So children can take care, children can support, but being as children, but very subtly, those dynamics are not in right perspective. Bipolar disorders can be, the victim perpetrator energy of a system carried in one person, or also bipolar, polar parenting. Father says something, mother says exactly different. Or what parent says, behaves in a very different way. For example, if mother, you know, in front of mother-in-law talks very sweetly to her, but as soon as she goes away, she starts, you know, cribbing, complaining about mother-in-law. So the child is confused, what is right? And child is learning how to behave. Child is learning how to live. So there can be a bipolar disorder. Schizophrenia also can be an energy of different ancestral energies in one person. There is no grounding there. There is no, you know, connection to the physical reality in schizophrenia. Depression is in a way death urge, very subtly not living the life lively, being alive. Different addictions. I had a client where, you know, this person used to buy two things. All the time, shirts, he used to buy two. Anything else, he used to buy two. So constellation revealed he was following his sibling who died. Different addictions like alcoholism, if the father has, grandfather has, or even a couple of generations, the son also starts becoming alcoholics. That is a subconscious loyalty. It's a blind love and blind loyalties. Shopaholism, drugs addiction, even electronic gadgets addiction. These addictions can be systemic entanglements, and many mental, emotional, and physical issues. So when we say systemic constellations, anything actually can be addressed through constellations. Relationships or family dynamics, business constellation. There are certain a set of orders in even business or organization or institution. If they are not in order, if they go in disorder, then there will be, the system will be polluted in a way. There won't be a harmony between each other. There will be conflicts, jealousy, you know, anger, stress. So these issues can be addressed through business or organizational or institutional constellation. The employee can have this constellation, the employer can have, any one person who feels it's an issue can address this. Subpersonalities, we all have different aspects, you know, and various personal issues, low self-confidence, self-worth issues. So personalities are different aspect of us. Money issues, property issues. Even the land has some energy, land carries energy. And what happened on that land also carries energy. If you see where wars happen, Mahabharata, Kurukshetra, or where wars happened, there is certain energy, because all these souls who died there was a lot of anger, there was a lot of helplessness, there was a lot of bloodshed on that land. So land also has energy. And if you see on most of these lands, there are also temples have come up. Somewhere they are trying to balance this energy. So land, property has energy. Diseases can be addressed through constellations. Also dissolving emotional and behavioral patterns. There can be very irrational helplessness, irrational anger, irrational fears that can be addressed. Any other issues a person feels, if this is an issue, I'm not at peace, can be addressed. People are also doing a dream constellation. If there is a recurrent dream and there is certain pattern, so that dream also can be addressed through either group constellation or one-to-one constellation. Our subconscious mind operates with the metaphor, with the sign language. And the dreams are symbolic. There is some significance to us. So people are also, I've also carried out number of dream constellations where it is a recurrent dream. Even people are doing past life constellations. The constellation is something in which the facilitator can use a lot of creativity, a lot of issues can be addressed, and the energy is very powerful. If you just surrender to the energy, it's very powerful, and it gives resolution. Sometimes it is also the diagnostic constellation, and then one has to go for a different mode of healing. Maybe a regression will be helpful to address that issue. But anything can be addressed, and it's extremely powerful modality that I observed. So far, I have carried out almost 5,000 constellations, one-to-one and group, and in workshops also. It is extremely, extremely powerful. Well, that's about in brief about constellation. It's a very deep topic, but I covered whatever I can, and now we can take the questions.
All those who have questions, please raise your hands. We'll take them all one by one. Yes, Kavita.
Yes, Kavita.
I wanted to ask, what are the addictions due to, and how do entanglements, there is this enmeshment you said because of a missing child.
Yeah.
And
A missing child means aborted, or there is a miscarriage, right? Yeah.
That is enmeshment, and entanglement is when you have.
Actually, they are I would say, similar terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are they interchangeable?
Yeah, they are.
Okay, and what are these? So mainly it's because of abortions, or due to other reasons also?
There can be enmeshment with, these all are enmeshment, like something called following or identifying with the ancestor, trying to create the homeostasis. These are all entanglements. There can be entanglements between parents and child, between the siblings, entanglement with the ancestor, where the younger generation, one person trying to give justice, or loyal to the suffering. I had one case where all the women of the family in marriage were suffering. Or they were following one of the around 4 generations back, a woman who also suffered and died in suffering.
Right.
Suffered with the abusive husband. And the younger women are showing subconscious loyalties towards her by suffering. This is also enmeshment. So there are plenty systemic enmeshments.
Right. So, like when you did this, the pen thing, which we kept on the table and all that, now after, when you do a normal family constellation, when you're bodily present, then you move around as per the energy, and there are different participants, so each one moves around. Yes. But now in this case, when you are yourself doing for all the members and you have placed them in a particular position, how do you move that around?
Yeah, so you are doing from your perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is also the 3D process. Energetically, you are going and you are channeling every person's energy.
Right.
So when the realizations, when the field, when the matrix reveals whatever are the dynamics of this moment, and when the awareness of enmeshment comes, intuitively you will feel the movement of all these representatives. These are also representatives. One can use anything for this. One can use cushions, chairs, stones, crystals, anything can be used.
Because I didn't feel the energy of movement.
Yeah, so that means that enmeshment, whatever is there, needs to be addressed.
No, I mean, I could place them in a constellation.
Okay.
After that, I could not feel any energy of movement.
Yeah, it needs time actually. Sometimes it needs a facilitator, because sometimes we are in the grip of those dynamics. So there is no awareness. We are not able to go into a witness or an observer space.
Mm-hmm.
Facilitator can help you in that.
Okay.
Right, Kavita?
And addiction, I wanted to ask, what could be the reason for addiction?
Addiction is always about escape mechanism. Want to run away. Don't want to look at the reality. So in a family, if it is very overwhelming to be with father and mother, for whatever reason, maybe they are very controlling, always telling, very conservative, always telling, do this, do that, this is good, that is right, you should be behave like that. It is very overwhelming for the child. Child is not able to exercise its individuality. The child wants to run away.
Right. Okay.
This addiction of gadgets, people are so addicted at gadgets, they just can't leave it. They get depressed if they're not with the gadgets. That's an addiction.
Right.
Emotional eating. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Urvashi had a question. Urvashi, would you like to unmute and ask?
Yeah, ask Urvashi.
Actually, I just put it in the chat. Okay, what if there is a disorder between the husband and wife, relationship-wise? If one is east, the other is west.
Yeah. So first, there are a number of aspects in it. First thing is, both these people, when they get married, they come from different family conscience, a different set of beliefs, values, rights, wrongs, and they both are loyal to each of their systems. A tremendous deep love, it's a blind love, and loyalties exist. So there is no acceptance of the other person's value systems or beliefs or whatever it is. Okay. Second thing is, if a person is not clear, like there is no healthy separation with the parents, all those unresolved dynamics we carry in the adult relationship. For example, yeah,
I didn't get.
Yeah, I'll give you an example.
Hmm.
For example, if a girl feel unloved with father, father is not very expressive emotionally, or father is missing in the sense very busy in the work or working out of station or out of country, and for a child, father is not really present, or sometimes even if the father is physically present, emotionally absent, doesn't know how to express emotions. So the girl feels very unloved, very uncared, and the support comes from masculine, that is from father, feels not supported. So when she grows up, and if this is not clear, she will look for a husband, or even in a boyfriend, she will try to look for father. So if you see, these girls attract boyfriends or husband exactly like their fathers. There's a void they try to fill up with the other men.
Okay, but Sharmila, in my case, I didn't have a father. He left us when we were very small. And now husband is there physically, but no support from him.
So similar, same now, missing father.
Okay.
I felt unsupported. I felt not cared by the masculine in my life. So I will look for that void to fulfill from my husband. Is it that happening?
Yeah, void is there.
Void is there, but you're trying to fulfill that from a wrong person. That, and you need to heal that within yourself. And when you are looking at your husband also feels not seen, because you're not looking at your husband, or subconsciously you're looking at the father figure, and he cannot provide that what you're looking for.
I think it's a bit complicated. I'll try to do.
Not that easy to clear, but you
Yeah.
can have a completion with your father. There is no completion with your father. Address that. Okay. Did I
How do
answer?
I need a therapist.
Yeah. You can go in for a consultation to any of the therapists.
Okay.
Or so you can ask joining hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
But do that. It'll be good for you. The dynamics with husband will change tremendously, but there may be a need of few sessions. Not one may not be sufficient. Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sharmila.
Thank you.
Najma, you had a question?
Yes, I had earlier. Some of it she has answered right now while answering. I was wondering about, I had few questions. So my second question is answered. I'll go back to my earlier question where you said that abortions and miscarriages kind of have an impact on your, other siblings. I have one child, but I've had many miscarriages and I never considered them as like my children. Right, I had several miscarriages, and I had one girl born and died early, like in 4 days' time, literally. So it was non-existent as such in the family. We never had a chance to bring her even from the hospital home. So never ever considered those. So I was just wondering, is it late to bring in the?
No.
Or do I just
No.
leave it the way
Now
it is?
that awareness has come,
yes,
either do a constellation or you can just either you buy plants with their name, pots, or you buy some crystals, keep with their name, give each one that rightful place. So do this meditation process. That is also important. In a theory of constellation, they say the moment you have first abortion, I don't know, it is mysterious. I'm not able to find the logic behind it, but the moment you have an abortion, even if it's planned, MTP, the husband and relationships go into some disharmony. A lot of things, involved here. Whether the abortion is done with both the people's, MTP is done with both the people's consent, or if mother has told the father, because that child belongs to mother, father, both. So there can be a very different dynamics, very number of different dynamics. I can't explain actually in this space.
Yeah.
But do that, do that process.
I was talking about miscarriages, and at this stage now, I don't even have the recollection because it's way past in my past, and I've kind of overcome it in the sense, dealt with the grief and grieved over it, and even for my girl, for that matter, it's been 20 years now. So what about those? So how early in the miscarriages do you still consider the fetus as your child? Like
Yes. Sometimes what happens is even the woman doesn't even know. Like there is a heavy bleeding, but there had been a conception and constellation reveals it. Last week I've had such constellation. She said, no, it was just heavy bleeding, but it showed the family is just, it's very sad what happened to that family, but it showed up. There was no completion. She's divorced, has girl, she's looking after the girl, but that completion wasn't there. So sometimes even you don't know, but constellation reveals.
So would you say from the time of conception only you would say that the soul has entered, and therefore even the earliest miscarriages also is considered as like your child, or you just say it was a miscarriage? Sometimes you don't identify the conception as your child because it has left you so early.
Yes. So everything needs to be given a rightful place. That soul is first, second, third. It is about inclusion. Everyone has a right to belong to a system, even if it's left at that stage.
Okay. Makes sense. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Can,
Nashma.
can I ask something regarding this?
Yeah, who's speaking?
Yeah, Urvashi.
Urvashi, yeah, tell me.
Sharmila, when I had but it was MTP with consent of both. The reason being we couldn't afford a third child that time. So we had to go for it. So what should I do for that? Because I never realized this awareness was not there.
Yeah. So you can do a meditation connecting to that soul, saying that I am sorry, I could not bring you to life. And I take the responsibility of my choice and the consequences. And I set you free. But you have your rightful place. Well, just once. But you have a rightful place in the family.
Okay.
In the sibling line, also that place is there. And you have a place in heart. Like everyone loves you. You belong to this family. You belong to the system. It's all about inclusion. System needs everyone to be included. So you can do that.
And how often this meditation should be done?
No, just once.
Acha, once. Okay. Thank you.
Just once is also. Or you can also place one crystal or keep a plant, with that baby's name till the time you feel you feel intuitively that I have given the due or rightful place to that child. Then you can give back. You can keep it in the nature.
Okay. Thank you.
One person is doing the therapy session can resolve the problem of all the family.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. However, if the other family members are very closed, you may not see the effective shift, but if the family members are open, you will see all of them changing. In fact, when the constellation is on, the family member feels the shift. At the same time, feels the shift.
Thank you. Rita?
Yeah, I wanted to ask the same question. If मैं करती हूँ तो मेरे पूरी फैमिली के लिए हो सकता है?
बिल्कुल होता है.
यही पूछना था. Thank you.
बोला ना, इनका अगर एक सबको इन्फ्लुएंस करता है.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. I would like to learn this modality. So you are.
Well, I do teach with the name of Harmony, but I think maybe joining hands also organize workshops. I do teach.
You do teach. No? I would like to. Can you
Yeah,
share?
it's a very powerful modality.
Is it online or like?
No.
सीखेंगे हम?
नहीं, मैं तो I conduct retreats.
You are from Mumbai or somewhere, any other place?
आप कहाँ से हो?
मुंबई.
Okay.
वैसे है पुणे से, पर अभी तो मुंबई में है.
So when you are going to conduct the sessions, like workshop?
अभी तो लॉकडाउन है. I'm thinking of in July or August.
Okay, great. Please, I'll connect with Neha and take your details if anything is there.
Perfect. Thank you. We have one last question from Raj. Raj, please unmute and ask.
No, dear, I have asked in between only. I jumped in between because I wanted to know.
All right, no worries. Thank you.
We are right in time. Yeah.
Do we have any more questions? Ma'am, I'll take a couple of questions from the chat, if that's okay, please.
Fine. Yeah.
We have Raj saying, will one person doing therapy session and can do resolution for all the members in the family?
Yeah, that I asked. In fact, you know what happens even in a group session, even one attends as a participant, as an observer. If something resonates with that constellation, even that issue of a participant gets resolved. Okay. So after that constellation is over, the person will feel ki I no more have that issue. It's already resolved. That powerful the energy is. That awareness, I said, shifts a lot of things. And when energetically it shifts in your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, everything changes.
Okay. Sandhya has asked, how will FC work in complete nuclear family? Do we also consider the grandparents in this?
Yeah, of course. See, we also consider what is the issue. If there is not an issue the person wants to address, we just set up the family constellation. In a group setup, maybe representatives. And the way the energy flows, it will reveal whether the dynamics are in harmony or if they are in disharmony. So what is the disharmony that the constellation reveals? And then the process goes towards the resolution. Then maybe sometimes parents come in or some ancestor come in, some grandparents come in, but constellation will reveal what needs to be done in that moment. And then we bring in that element, we call them elements, right?
Yes.
Whoever asked, did I answer that?
Yes, Sandhya.
Okay, Sandhya.
Kusum has asked, how does bringing in the lost fetus help the person who has lost it?
So mother carries a subconscious guilt. I have one case, let me tell you this example. This woman, she has tremendous body aches and pains. Her body is always in pain for many years. She came for a constellation. When I set up the constellation, her she had some health issues, so doctor advised her to go for MTP, and she underwent MTP. And that guilt, it was so deep. Like she said, the representative of her said, Ki, I will suffer the way you suffered. Every cell of your body suffered, so my body will also suffer. Such guilt this woman carried, and she had so many aches and pains. So sometimes cognitively, you know, yeah, this is what we have done with a very aware decision, but somewhere emotionally, subconsciously, we carry a number of different dynamics which are not in harmony. Did I answer that?
Kusum, I hope that was answered for you. Okay. Sangeeta has asked, when parents have one or more children with special needs, what does it indicate and how does family constellation help?
Special needs, of course, it depends on how disabled they are. So physically, physiologically or anatomically, I don't know how will it change. It depends like on the specific case. But most of the times, these children come to teach the lesson of love, unconditional acceptance. Somewhere it's a lesson for the parents. And they just come as a, as the means. And when parents learn that lesson, the children leave. So that is how this is. I hope I answered that question.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. I'm Sangeeta.
Okay.
So I wanted to know that does doing family constellation, does it help in any way?
It brings a tremendous peace. See, people who have disabled, specially able children they have difficulty in accepting them as they are. It feels like a burden. There is a lot of restrictions. They are not at peace. They can be angry. They can be asking the questions, God, why me? And when it is resolved, wherever it is coming from, because everything has a significance. Everything what happens in your life has a reason to teach you something, to learn something. When you learn that, it's like you feel that sakoon. Sakoon is a word. So much calm, so much at peace. It gives you emotional strength. It gives you a lot of stability to face further. It's something like, in aircrafts, the crew member tells you if something happens, even if your child is just 2-year-old, please put up your oxygen mask first. So it's like putting on your oxygen mask so that you can help that child in a better way.
Okay. So I have this person whom I know. She already has a child who's like 4-5 years. A child with special needs. She's, I think, cerebral palsy and other associated issues. Now she has delivered another child. They went to Netherlands for her benefit actually. So now she just delivered a child, say 3 months back, and the doctors can't find anything wrong with the child. Whenever the child is on the ventilator, they can't like diagnose what is the problem, but they are sure that once it's off the ventilator, the child will not be anymore. So now the mother is like kind of in that state, like a suffering already. Like, so will this, like, the thought just crossed my mind that would this help her?
Yes, tremendously.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on there, but it will help her tremendously.
Thank you.
Before I go to the next question to Sangeeta and all our participants, our next family constellation is for families with children who are differently able and have special needs. So all of you can register and sign up and know more for that.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from Jaharna. She says, will the family constellation resolve all issues in a family going through a lot of trauma, depression, and more?
It's a very vague question, actually.
Jaharna, would you like to come on video and ask?
Yeah. Mute yourself. Yeah.
Actually, our family is going through a lot of problems. We had a lot of, I should say, there were a lot of incidents in our family. So we are still suffering from that. So can it resolve it?
Yes, it will make things better and better.
Yes.
You may need a few more sessions, but yes, it will go towards betterment. Definitely, 100%.
My father died because of problems in 2000. And since then, we are not having any peace of mind.
Constellation will help you tremendously.
So do I take a session with you or how is it?
Now that Neha will tell Neha.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
She wants to have a session. Where do you stay?
I'm from Assam, ma'am.
You are from Assam.
Yeah.
Okay. I also do online constellations. So get in touch with Joining Hands.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm coming. Want to do awareness talks in Assam. Which part in Assam? Yeah.
I'm from Jorhat, ma'am.
Jorhat. Okay. I'm coming to Jorhat, Silchar. I'm coming. Okay. Yeah.
I'm so happy to get the news. Yeah, you can organize. Yeah.
Now there is not much of awareness in eastern states.
Yeah, that's what.
One of my mission had been to create awareness of these modalities. I had been doing that in all throughout my army life. Wherever I got a chance, I did small workshops, awareness talks, some demos of constellation, regression. People are close sometimes. It helps people to open up, to read, to understand. They take their own time to understand, be ready, and they come.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Jahanara.
Wonderful. Do we have any?
Yeah, we can. There's a lot of disturbance there from your side.
Is it better now?
Yeah, your volume is very low.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now loud and clear.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's been such a beautiful and insightful talk with you today. If possible, we could do a demo sometime in the coming month, whenever convenient for you. All our participants who have been there today, can come join, and we can put out word for more people to come be a part of the demonstration. Thank you to all the wonderful participants. I hope you all found some healing and answers. I have put details in the chat in case you want to get in touch with anyone in the Joining Hands team. We have a series of talks that we're doing on family constellations, where we're trying to raise awareness. Our next topic is about children who are differently abled and have special needs. The website details are also in chat. And without any further ado, thank you so much, Dr. Sharmila. It's been absolutely wonderful listening to you. Any last words before we wrap?
Yeah, thank you, all the participants. Thank you for your time, your patience, energy of listening to me. And I'm really happy. I'm so passionate to share this, my experiences, because I have seen my life is transformed, and I feel everybody's life can transform. It just, one needs to open up to that. Read about it, get an understanding, take your time, and then go in for, therapies. But this is a powerful modality, and wishing you all the best. Stay safe, stay happy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, ma'am. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Sharmila.
Thank you, Geeta. Bye.
Bye.